All right, here we go again. Big Labour going after CEO pay. Fox Business' Peter Barnes has the story. Peter?
Well, Stuart, the AFL-CIO is pushing hard to push CEO compensation down. In its latest annual Executive Pay Watch report, the union said average CEO pay among S&P 500 companies rose about 14% in 2011 to about $13 million, which it called egregious. It said that is 380 times the average wage for a worker last year of $34,000. It said some CEOs earn their high pay, but others do not because of boardroom backstabbing. The union thinks, by the way, that shareholder vote at Citigroup this week opposing the $15 million pay package for its CEO, while a non-binding vote was a bell ringer for corporate America that shows investors are starting to pay attention to high executive pay.
Now the information is a little easier, they'll pay more attention to it, and hopefully it'll start to have a real effect and a dampening effect, and making the CEO, instead of the regal person of one, part of a management team where everybody is sort of in the same ballpark when it comes to salary.
And the union plans to use this data in the election year debate about income inequality. Stuart?
Thank you, Peter. So what do actual union members think of the Executive Pay Watch campaign? UAW member Terry Bowman calls it a double standard. Not for what big Labour bosses make, but what they are doing with his dues. All right, Terry, welcome to the program. Why do you oppose what your own union is doing? Spell it out.
Well, Stuart, quite frankly, it really is a double standard. There's a couple thoughts here that, first of all, obviously they're using this for class warfare, class envy, in order to help Obama get elected in 2012 in November. They're going to use it sooner or later against Mitt Romney as well, and it just doesn't fly with the fellow union workers when they look at this kind of a situation. But as you said, it is a big double standard because union officials themselves are part of the 1% that they so much say that is wrong with what American society is all about.
But does, does Richard Trumka have a point? Our reporter there, Peter Barnes, made the point that executive pay is now about 380 times the average of what union members, workers on the ground floor, what they make. That is a very big gap. Does the union have a point in pointing it out?
Exactly right. It is a very big gap. However, there's a couple things to look at here. Number one, it's almost as if the union officials are looking at this enviously. But number two, they're taking free market economics and private contracts between a corporation and an individual and trying to base something on those private contracts. As a UAW member and as a worker as myself, what do I care what any business enters into any private contract with any other individual or corporation? It has no bearing on me as a union member or as a regular worker. So it's disingenuous, and it's really a fake point that they're making in order to try to get Obama elected in 2012.
Why are you in a union?
Well, first of all, I am very proud to be a union member because I believe in unions, but in the context of what they were originally created to do, and that's to represent their employees in the realms of the workplace. What they have become, however, is nothing but socioeconomic groups trying to push a bizarre worldview, in my point, and a quasi-political party that's only trying to get one party elected. You know, they've injected millions of dollars into the old Occupy movement and are calling it now the 99% spring, which really should be called the 5% spring, because that's about the percentage of Americans who really agree with the political agenda of this group. Yesterday, I was proud to speak in a rally called the 100% Fed Up Rally, which you're going to see these pop up all over the United States in response to the 99% spring. Right. But in this 100% Fed Up Rally, it's talking about free trade economics and really what is reality out there in the
that is the other side of the union coin. Terry Bowman, thanks for bringing it to us. We appreciate you being here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Stuart.